video so I can do.
Yeah, there it is. I think it's live now. Hi, Patrick in Chicago.
Hello, Scott in New Jersey.
Jersey.
I
Where?
almost said Joyzy, and I couldn't
Oh,
say it. Nobody says Joyzy. I've been taught that's not correct.
who taught you that?
Raj,
Raj.
also
Huh?
from South Jersey. He's
Right.
like, nobody around us talks like that.
It's true. But anyway, I didn't correct. I would never correct you.
It's meant in the best of love. That's us Midwesterners. That's what we think of New Jersey.
Well, it doesn't bother me. And I mean, of course, everybody says Chicago, but
Yeah.
you don't say Chicago.
No, not
So
the South Sider. So how are you doing this fine Monday evening?
I am complaintless. I just posted two 30-minute videos because like I do this big shop along and then I want to show everybody and then I talk for another half an hour about the items. And so this time I broke it up, but I released them at the same time, but told everybody, make sure you watch part one. If I were smart, I would do one video per day, but I just put them both out back to back. It doesn't matter.
Raj and I were out yesterday, and of course I can't think of the name of it. We were in a vintage mall in Chicago. We went into the city yesterday, and it was Chicago Chic Unique, who is actually the gentleman who bought all of my swung glass before I sold my place. That's where he has a booth. So his name's Tony. And beautiful place, gets much higher prices than I can get in the antique shop that I'm at out in the suburbs. But I was standing in this gigantic vintage Indian painting. And all of a sudden, Roger's like, and that's this, and that's this, and that's this, and that's this. And I'm like, I should have videotaped that. So after he finished, I just took a little video of the painting, and I said, okay, I'm going to make you re-record everything you just told me, and I'm going to make a little video out of that just so I have some content going on because it was very interesting.
Was it a landscape? I mean, what do you mean?
It was a gigantic acrylic painting on fabric. He said probably would have been a wall panel. It wouldn't have been a temple, but it would have been something in India. And so it had Krishna in the middle of it, and it had peacocks and like all these different symbols, lotus. It was probably 4 feet by 3 feet. It was just this gigantic wall mural, and it was for sale. I think it was $1,500. And just by looking at it, I'm like, oh, look, it's a piece of Indian art. But he was then pointing all the different pieces of it to say, well, that's what that means, and that's what that means, and that means good luck, and that means this.
Well, I would expect him to know.
Yeah, and it's one I'm trying to. He's kind of agreed to do them, but we're going to try and do a series of videos on Indian culture and primarily doing Indian gods because he is, not to offend anyone, but he is a self-proclaimed atheist, but he still knows a lot about Indian gods. And it's kind of like, to a certain extent, we have Ganeshas in our house because they're kind of cool, so it's like, you don't have to turn it into a religious temple thing. It's just education. And that's what I want my channel to be about. So maybe I'll get some videos out and have him do some videos. He has a whole series of comic books from kids when he was a kid, and they're comic books about the individual gods. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. These comic books from the 70s. I love it.
Well, it sounds like something interesting that would be of some interest to folks.
Yeah.
To put
Just
that
a little bit of history, a little bit of culture, and just different. I didn't know any of this stuff before I met him.
Well, listen, I want to say hello and welcome everyone. We have, so this is Monday night. It's the fourth Monday night in the month, and this happens to be the last Monday night of the month, I think. And so as usual now, for almost going on 2 years, I guess 2 years, Patrick joins me here on this channel, and we call this the Unbreakables. Now we stretch it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm kind of like this is my farthest stretch will be tonight.
What's unbreakable, but we pretty much steer away from glass and pottery, and we venture off into some other things. I did not do a preview tonight, but I've got some lamps and some picture frames and I've got some brass. I've got some wonderful things for you. I think you're going to be excited. So to stay tuned to that. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight on Monday night. And of course, I always want to thank Patrick for joining me. I ship from New Jersey. Patrick ships from Chicago. I will be doing invoices tomorrow, and it's usually first thing in the morning. If I have enough vim and vigor at night, I'll send them out at night. If not, I'll send invoices out tomorrow morning. If you don't get an invoice by around dinner time tomorrow, reach out to me, because that means that I'm somehow having trouble getting a hold of you. And sometimes I forget. People will win an item and they've already told me that they don't have PayPal, but they, maybe they told me that last year, and I can't, it is impossible to remember now, going on 8 years or whatever of this. It's hard for me to remember. So sometimes I'll send an invoice out and you don't get it because I forget that you don't have PayPal. And so it's helpful if you win to let me know that. Even let me know a second time.
Yeah, don't take offense if we forget something. It's not that we don't honor every customer, but sometimes
no.
I always feel bad when I don't recognize a person's real name compared to their YouTube name. It's like, I should know this, but I can't remember.
It's just us doing, neither one of us have help with this. We just do it. So it's very easy to forget things and mess up. So thank you, everybody, because I often will put the wrong label on the wrong anyway, okay, so I'll look at the comments in a minute. I often anyway, so enough of that. All right, so we're going to get started in a couple of minutes. If you don't have to pre-register, if you have bought from either one of us before, now forget eBay. That's a whole different thing. We can't get your information from eBay, though you think we can, we can't. So if you've bought from us, if you've never bought from us before, then we will put our emails in there and you'll send us the information that we need, which is your full name, your mailing address, zip code, all of that stuff. Don't forget to tell us whether you have a PayPal account or not, and then give us that email, because the email from which you write is not always the email that you used when you created your PayPal account 10 years ago. So we need to know that, or you won't get the invoices. We use Pirate Ship so that shipping is as cheap as possible. United States Post Office has already given their holiday increases. I didn't hear anything from UPS, but USPS has gone up in shipping. I imagine UPS will probably be adding a couple cents to their, everybody's trying to make money, and we know prices have gone up everywhere and on everything, but that's the way it is this time of the year. And what am I forgetting, Patrick?
I think you hit most of it. I will just add from my comment, I will try and have invoices out by Wednesday night. I'm not as efficient as Scott, but I will try and get them out midweek. And same thing, if you don't hear from me, my email might have gone to you and to your spam. So just if you don't hear from me, take no offense if you send another email saying, hey, haven't heard from you. And I will make sure I get something out, or I'm having problems getting something to you. So we will try and do our best to keep track. Everything tonight's offer up. Scott and I will be doing each other's start and stops. So we will make the official calls for who the last person is that we see. If we do have Karen as a moderator. So if there is a question of who the last person, if there's who came in before the stop, etc., Karen will be the final arbiter if it is something different than what Scott and I have seen. But otherwise, we appreciate everyone trying to be helpful, but sometimes being helpful hurts more than it helps because comments come in out of order and then nobody knows who's actually saying anything. So that was the only thing we didn't touch on.
Yeah, that's why we have moderators. Let the moderators do the work. We love you, and we know you want to jump in and help. But as Patrick said, when everybody's jumping in and helping, it's like too many cooks in the kitchen. Get out. So let the moderators do their thing. We always, anytime there's any little glitch, like, well, I think I won. No, I won. We always work it out amicably. You guys are wonderful, and we always do it absolutely as no funny business.
All right.
So we're gonna try to get through 20 items or so. We each have about 12 items or so, I guess. And I'm going to turn it over to Patrick. I'm going to enlarge him, hopefully. Again, thanks, everybody. This I know sometimes you try to chat with us, but when we really don't do a lot of chatting during a sale because we just can't stop and chat with you that easily. So don't feel like we're ignoring you or We really are all about the sale. We'll try to answer questions. And if you've got questions about anything, like we need measurements, or we want to know, is it plastic? Is it really wood? Is that brass, or is it, Tupperware? Those kinds of questions we will look for, and Karen will help us out with those if there's specific questions that we need to answer, so that you'll understand the products that you're bidding on. So thank you, everybody. Okay, let's get it started, shall we?
Let's go.
Well, I'm going to enlarge you.
All right, I'm waiting to be enlarged.
Well, here you go.
All right, so my first item.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let me get you enlarged. Sorry.
You can do it. I believe in you, Scott.
Yeah, I know. It's just that sometimes it's like this. Okay, and
wrong one.
Yeah. I just had to bring you back in again, and let me go find you. There's the layout.
There it is. All right. So Scott will be doing, and I will be doing his. He'll be doing mine. This is a mixed lot. You get everything that I'm going to show. This is Christmas ephemera. If you saw my preview, this was the item that I was like, wait, I think I have Christmas ephemera, but I didn't have this in my stack.
All right. What's your starting?
We have a starting date of $10 for the entire stack.
Okay.
And what this is, it includes 3 separate items. Yeah, technically 4 if you want to split this one. It is some Christmas ephemera. I've got some others coming up. But the first one is a vintage letter from Santa, personal, unused. It's got a place for the stamp on there. And you can see the return address is Santa Claus in Santa Claus, Indiana. And you can see it was a promotional item from Standard Oil. So you get the envelope. But in addition to the envelope, you get the original Santa letter. Again, signed by Santa, so kind of used but unused. And it is from Santa Claus, Indiana. Hello there, little friend. But there's great rejoicing here in Santa's town. My wee brownies have finished their work, and all the new shiny toys and presents are waiting to be loaded in my sleigh. So you have a wonderful little vintage letter from Santa. So if you know someone who should get a letter from Santa, this would be a different version of them, because it's probably, I couldn't find any postmark or anything on this, but based on some of the illustration, I'm thinking 60s or 70s, maybe going into the 80s. But you've got a great vintage letter from Santa. And if you don't want to mail it, it would look fantastic just sitting on a branch of your Christmas tree, sitting in a vignette. It's just a cool letter from Santa. Throwing in with that, some additional ephemera. I've got a vintage Christmas card. So the letter from Santa is from Standard Oil. This sincere greetings is a beautiful print etching. You can see it's actually got the recessed from the plate being pressed into this thick handmade paper. And inside opens up. You have Christmas 1938. So it's Season's Greetings, and this is from the Radio Corporation of America in London. So RCA in London. So you've got a business Christmas card in addition to the Christmas letter from Santa. And then this I'm throwing in. I have a feeling there used to be a cover to this. So unfortunately, we only have the insides. It's a story of Christmas time. There's many stories I've heard of Santa and his sled, said Ethel opening wide her eyes and rising up in bed. I have no idea who Ethel is, because I think the first couple of pages are missing. But you've got some great art that if you want, you would just, it's very heavy, very thick paper, definitely a vintage piece. It is, is it string bound? Yes, it is string bound. So you definitely have some age on this, and you've got some beautiful illustrations that you could frame, and some of them have a little bit of a story underneath it you could include as well. So $10 start, you get the Christmas booklet, the Christmas card from RCA, and the Christmas letter. Now, finished all of that. I did not see any bids coming in, so I'm going to pass it. We're going to pass it, and I'm going to send it back to Scott and let him sell his first item.
Okay. I have now for you the first item that I have. Let me just adjust this camera. Did I do that right? Okay. So the first item that I have is going to start at $10. it's kind of hard to tell when this was made. We're probably sometime in the 1940s, 50s, or 60s. And it's a little offering box in the shape of a church, which would sit on the family table. And I'll tell you what it says. Observe Sunday, go to church is here. And we'll spin it around. There's nothing. We see the steeple and the doors. And then on this side, it says, "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord." And then on this side, this is charming. It says, "We promise to give 1 cent each meal per family to our church." And so you can imagine this sitting at the table. What a great way to teach children. You know, if you say grace and maybe, you know, the children have a few pennies, you put 1 penny in the top. That's all it says. We promise to give 1 penny. And then when you want to empty it, you slide the little wooden peg out of the bottom. And out comes the coins. It always reminds me this time of year as a child, the old UNICEF. We used to get these they were black and orange, and they were little cardboard boxes. We would get them in Sunday school. And we would fold them all together. I think it was called UNICEF. And I just
it's trick-or-treating, right? You put a quarter in the box, you collected it trick-or-treating?
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, it was UNICEF.
And we got them in church, you know. So anyway.
Carmen starts you out with a $10 opening.
Okay, so that's it. There's there's nothing else on it. And there's like a family name written down on the bottom. I can't. Collision. I don't know why the word collision is written on the bottom. I don't know. Anyway, there's the cute little church to put a penny in at dinner time and to be thankful. Let's count this down. 10. Remember UNICEF, those little boxes? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And before the stop comes in, I do see 2 people are both tied at $10. So we'll just see if anybody else jumps in on the little church offering box. You said
waiting for my lag. All right, stop goes in. Got Patsy M 54.94 at $15.
$54.94. What's all this number stuff?
I say a lot of the names are coming through with numbers on them. I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something. Let's not.
Patsy M.
Not you, Patrick, but yeah, it's Patsy M. I got you. It's YouTube does stuff, and it's all but it's Patsy M. Okay, so Patsy got it at 15. Patsy, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, Patrick, I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah.
Now, give me 1 second to write this down, and then I'll put you can start talking, but you got to give me a minute to type in your. All right, go ahead. Patsy.
No worries. All right, so the next item I've got are maybe one of the heaviest things that I'm offering tonight.
Ooh.
We've got a pair of wooden eggs. Now, I would say they have kind of an African motif, but I kind of like their color for a autumnal, coming up for Thanksgiving. You've got kind of the nice orange and black and browns, included in this. It's when you're ready, it's an $8 start.
Okay.
So what everyone knows is an $8 start.
Thanks.
They are very heavy. I would say each one of these is probably about a pound. But they are hollow. Oops, that one's got something on the bottom. But you can see how thick the wood is. I do not know how these were made. Was it somehow hollowed out, or did they build it up? It's got some heft to it. Now, this one appears to be just painted with the colors on it, but you can see there is a crack that is running across it. So it kind of adds to its primitive motif. It's not all the way through, it stops about halfway down. But it is showing the wood that is made out of. This one does not have a crack. And this one it's looking kind of a bright orange, but it's like a rusty orange is the undercoat. And then not quite black on the top, and you can see some of the undercolor is coming through. There you go. It toned it down a little bit. You can see some of the orange color is kind of coming through some of those darker spots. So you've got the spotted version, and you've got kind of the little U horseshoe shape. They're eggs. So I don't know, are they supposed to be hung on to until Easter? But I don't really see that these are Easter colors. So I just think these are cool for decor. Prop it outside of a vignette. Put it as part of your cornucopia. You've got whatever you've got. You get both of these for the $8 start. Not seeing a lot of chatter, not seeing any pricing. So I want to make sure we get through as much as we can tonight. We will go ahead and pass on these and let Scott show his next item.
Okie doke. And for the person who wanted to know about the Christmas items, Patrick will bring them back.
Yes.
Remember, it's if you're new to sort of the way we run things here, we do go pretty quickly. And if there's no interest and there are no bids, we just move it right along. So if you really have interest in something, don't be afraid to just go ahead and throw a bid in there. But anything that doesn't get bids, we'll definitely bring it back at the end. I could not help it. I had to, Patrick. I had to.
I recognize those.
I had to. Okay, $12. They don't have teeth marks. They're clean. They don't smell.
Well, they're clearly not vintage if they don't have teeth marks on there. Come on, they all have teeth marks.
This is the thing. Who would reproduce these in these colors? There's the Tupperware right there on the bottom. And my goodness, how many of us in the 70s raced home from school to drink milk and eat cookies out of that set? I just had to do it because it's so 70s. And I do not buy and sell Tupperware. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not my gig. But
Kentucky Digger Steve's got you opening at 12.
Well, Steve, I don't know about you, but when I walked into the thrift store and I saw them, I said, I have not thought about them since 1979, probably when my mother finally decided to remodel the kitchen and get rid of. I mean, what else can you say other than 1970? Okay, love it.
Lenny's got you up to $25. She is remembering her childhood and wants to bring those home.
I'm remembering it too. And I have to tell you, I just got these. I'm going to do something, and I hope that you don't mind. Before I put these in the mail, I am going to go get myself a gallon of milk and some awful cookies from the 70s. What kind of awful cookies? And I'm going to eat and drink milk out of all.
Hydrox.
Yes, isn't that awful? All right. We'll count these down. I just love it so much. I had to do it. All four of them nice and clean. Look at that Tupperware on the bottom, clean on the inside. They're not all torn up. So I don't think these were hardly ever used at all. We'll count them down. Glenny, you got the high bid at 25.
There is a question from Kentucky Digger Steve. He's asking if they are 8 or 12 ounces.
I couldn't tell you.
They look about the size of a pop can. So
I can tell you that they're 4 inches tall, but they don't say, do they say? They don't say on the bottom, and so I don't know. I would probably say 8. They're 4.5 inches tall. The little ones that I remember, probably only 8. We'll count them down because they don't say, no, I didn't put any water in them, but that's probably about as big as they are. What? Ovaltine? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the, oh my goodness. That's Everybody's Kitchen from 1978.
Absolutely. Now, we did not have the luxury of the avocado appliances. We had and we didn't even have Harvest Gold. We had the weird bronze color. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, like a coppery.
It was like a coppery brown color. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was not a popular one. I think we got it on clearance even back in the 70s.
The stop is in, and it's going to go to
Glenny 18. It's $25.
Okay. I will enlarge you. Glenny, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will write that down, and then when Patrick
All right. Going again, one of the benefits of Unbreakables is things that are easy to ship. So we're going to small. And what I have is a set of 6 enameled sterling silver vermeil wash spoons made in Norway. And we've got a $10 start. So $10 start, you get all 6 of these. Now, I have not tried to clean these. So they are sterling silver. They are marked sterling on the back. See if I can get it to show up in the camera. You can kind of see some things there. But it does say 925 and it says made in Norway. The enamel is in great condition on all of these. So you've got white, and you can see it is sterling, but you can see there's a gold wash to it. So that's the vermeil, the gold wash finish. So you've got white, you've got kind of a orangish red. You have a really pretty cornflower blue. You've got a powder blue, sky blue. You've got a sage green and kind of an ivory color. So as you can see, the spoons themselves, again, all the enamel's in great shape, but you can definitely see some tarnish on the edges, on the bowls. So on the front and on the back. So it is silver. Yes, I would say they're demi-tasse spoons, dessert spoons, with a Scandinavian floral motif, but they were well known. These are not George Jensen or anything like that, but they were trying to take that enameled look and give you that modern appearance from the 60s. You've got the old-fashioned edging to it, the gold wash, but it's the enamel that really makes these a cool set, and it is the full set of 6. So again, all colors. I do see bids on these, so I'm going to go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. You can see all the colors are just really pretty. So I just really liked those. Had my best intentions of polishing them up and getting them on eBay. Yeah, that didn't happen. So you get them here. So I appreciate somebody giving them a good home and hopefully putting them to good use. They're a great full set. Wait for Scott to find the lag and get the stop in.
There it is. I believe it's Stacy Alamond at 18. I think.
All right. I think, Stacy, you have bought from me before, but I think it's been a while. So if you don't mind resending an email with your information, I'll make sure I've got it up to date.
Next up, Patrick, whenever you get the chance to put in $20 for the start, $20 for the start on the wooden jewelry box, which dates to the 1930s and 40s. This is an interesting shape. I don't find them often in this shape. They're usually just very boxy. So this one will start at $20. It measures 11 by 6 by 5. 11 by 6 by 5. And when you look at it, you say, well, gosh, Scott, that thing is all beat up. You know as well as I do that a coat of scratch cover and all of those scratches are going to absolutely vanish. Well, why didn't I do that? Well, because some people like things that show their age. I would take scratch cover to this, but that's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. You can go to the hardware store. They even sell it in the regular old department grocery store. There's all kinds of scratch covers. You don't need to refinish it. You can just rub a scratch cover and then some beeswax on it and you'll be fine. And that will take, even saliva will, and, you'll start to see those scratches, go away.
Christina's got you charted at $20.
I won't put saliva all over this. So we'll let you see the top of it. It doesn't have anybody's initials on it. The metal has patina on it. It's not missing anything. I love the shape of it, the domed shape, the rounded shape, very 40s, 30s, 40s. And when we open this one, we have a wonderful mirror on the inside. So you can see all around my house, which you're not supposed to be looking at. And then also inside is a blue liner, which is clean. That's the original liner, kind of a silky liner on the inside, and a very nice mirror. This one has its manufacturer's name on the bottom of it. And this is the McGraw Box Company, manufacturers McGraw, New York. I do not know where McGraw, New York is. I imagine it's somewhere in upstate or somewhere outside of New York City. Yeah, it's nice to have a liner in them. I agree with that. The high bid right now is $29. And we all know really how people got these and when they were popular. There are a lot of them out there. This is a kind of a fun shape. And if there are no questions, I'll count this one down. It does not have a funny smell. Ha ha ha. 10. Any questions? 9. 8. 7. Place for your padlock right there. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. That's it on the 1930s, 40s jewelry box in cedar, which is wonderful. I love those boxes. I love them. Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. I love the shape on that too. All right. So the box is going to go to Christina.
Christina at 40. Sorry, Patsy, you came in just after the stop.
Okay, and then I got to get all those YP6JY. I won't remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, which ones are real ones?
Yeah, I think I know which Christina you are. I think you are the Christina. Not the, but you know what I mean. Anyway, thank you, Christina. I appreciate it. I hope I have the right one. You know, Christina, if you don't hear from me by like dinner time tomorrow night, just send me an email. Yeah, there you are. Okay, I know. You are welcome, Christina. I thought that was you. Okay. All right, back to Patrick and Christina. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
All right. I was doing a quick check. I'm going to do my first. I don't normally do choice, but I think that's the best way to sell these. And I did have these on my preview. So what I have are a series of Ashton Drake dolls, and they are going to be choice starting at $15. I'm going to line these little babies up here because there's a story. Oh, her stand is still down there. We have 3 dolls. You notice there's something very similar to all of these dolls. They all have the same fabric of their wedding dress because there's a story. This is Elizabeth. Elizabeth was married in the 1900s. She has the full gown with a very long train, leg of mutton sleeves, lace collar, lace trimmed at the bottom with roses. Her daughter, Betty, got married in 1930s, and she trimmed her mother's dress down. So she put it into, still gave it a bustle, but gave it very tailored down. Gave the little cap of the hat. And then her daughter, Beth, created the portrait collar neckline with the pillbox hat because she got married in the 1960s. Now she comes with a stool. So she sits on a little stool, and Betty has a stand. She had popped out of her stand, but she does have a stand. So Elizabeth stands on her own, Betty stands on her own, and then Beth sits on a bench. Oh. I originally considered keeping them together, but unless you're really into dolls, these take up a lot of space if you're trying to show all of them. I just 2 weeks ago, answering Christina's question, I just 2 weeks ago turned 55. So that is my age. These were in my home because when we got married in the 90s, My wife's dress was similar to this one with the leg of mutton sleeves. So we did this through Ashton Drake. At the time, these puppies were probably over $100 a piece back in the 90s. Some people would say so they're collectible. This is the stretch of Unbreakable because they are porcelain. If I smashed her against the table, she would break. So I'm kind of breaking. But in general, they have composite bodies. So they're less breakable than some others. So they'll still be fairly easy to ship. I'll just put a lot of bubble wrap around their heads. But 1900, 1930, 1960s, they're all in fantastic condition because they've been stored for decades because they have not been on display. Originally, my daughter said she would want to keep them, but she gets her own apartment. She doesn't have space for anything. There's no significance in the family. So we're selling them. And they take up a lot of room in my booth. So I figured I'd try and sell them here first. So I don't see any activity. Appreciate someone saying that it's a good price. But if this is not the market for dolls, if no one is looking for a bridal accent to their home, I'm going to go ahead and pass on these and send it back to Scott for his next item.
So that was actually choice at $15.
Choice at 15, yes.
Okay. I'll just give that one more second, folks, but I'm going to throw that stop in there. Didn't see anybody there. I'm kind of, wait. Okay. Okay. So anyway, we'll bring them back. There's the stop. We'll come back. And I think, I've got 3 tobacco humidors tonight that I'm going to sell separately. We're going to start off with this one, which I think is probably the oldest one. And I'm going to ask you a question in a minute, Patrick. But this tobacco humidor, actually, we'll take a closer look at it. But this one in tin, I'm saying tin, just generically, I'm saying tin, because it's obviously not brass. This one starts at 20.
Okay.
And I am not very well conversant with antique tins and whatnot. But Patrick, I think you might have more knowledge than I do. When we see seams like this must have been rolled on a form and put together. So there's a seam that runs down here. We can see at the base. It's also seamed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And up here at the top, when we take the lid off, there's a clear seam right here. You can see that. So yeah. I believe that that there's an indication of age when cans are put together with seams. Patrick, do you know the dates about that?
No, I do not. I mean, you described it perfectly well. And that definitely has age to it, but I do not know at what times because I had I had tea tins that were a little bit smaller than that, that I think definitely had some age to them, but I never knew exactly how, because I don't know what the cutoffs were for production.
Yeah. I don't know either. So I don't know if
you're up to $21.
I beg your pardon?
You got bids, you got it up to $21.
21?
Yep. Kentucky Digger Steve.
Oh.
He and Lori started at 20, and then Steve came back in at 21. You're not seeing it?
No, my computer that's odd. All I've got is back in the day at $20. That's odd.
No, same time stamp. Kentucky Digger Steve also came in at 738 at 20, and then he realized it, so then he upped it to 21.
Well, it's gone off of my screen. I'll hit refresh, but let's just keep going. I don't see.
Okay, yeah. For now, I've got the comments coming in.
So I don't really know why or there's a book out there somewhere that'll tell me about seams on cans. And anyway, it's yeah, I don't see it. Judy says she doesn't see it either.
Everybody make sure you're in live chat instead of top chat.
None of us are seeing the Kentucky Digger Steve bid at 21. That's very odd. I'm not seeing it, and everybody else is saying they don't see it either. How strange.
Well, I can show you my screenshot.
No, I'm not saying I don't believe you. You don't have.
No, Karen's seeing it. She's the one that matters.
What?
Karen's
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying that whatever it is that's going on tonight, maybe it's Halloween. Half of us see it, and half of us don't see it. I don't know.
Very weird.
Very weird. But you can see from the comments, there are a lot of people that are saying, I don't see it. And some
Yeah.
people say, I do see it. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know, Kentucky. Very strange.
Well, hopefully
So,
between Karen, you, and me, we'll be able to see everybody's bids tonight.
okay. So we have a tobacco humidor. There it is. This is a very plain one. It's almost primitive. There's no markings on it at all. And I'm going to guess probably around 1900. But again, because I don't know anything about seams on cans, I can't tell you. But we'll count this down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And before we all start talking, let me just say this. On my screen, in my chat, the only bid I see is Back in the Day Finds at 20. There is no Kentucky Digger Steve on here at all. Now Back in the Day Finds is at 26. I don't know why I'm not seeing you. Very strange.
So I just put in the stop, and Back of the Day Finds was the last one before the stop, and then immediately after I hit my stop, Steve hit with 27. Do you see his 27?
Nope, Steve is not showing up in my chat at all. Very strange. And look, see, Ali Monty says, I don't see it either. So it's not.
Oh, no, there are a ton of people that didn't, but then a bunch of
Right.
people said they did see it too.
There are a lot of people that aren't seeing it. Who knows why? But it is Back in the Day Finds at 26 on that.
Yeah, if Karen and Jeffrey can just verify, because they were seeing their bids too. I do see Back in the Day was before the stop and Steve was after.
So anyway, so it was 26 with Back in the Day?
Yes.
Okay. That was the 10, 26. Thank you.
We're at the mercy of YouTube, so sorry about that, everybody.
Okay, let me enlarge. Let me bring Patrick back. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I need to go adjust the thermostat, but I will bring you in. Oh, fudge. Now, where did the little... Okay, Patrick, if you'll tell me your start, I'll go ahead and put that.
All right. I've got a pair of Christmas magazines, and I'm going to you get both of them for starting at $10.
Okay, 10. Okay, it's in, and now I'm going to go to my thermostat. I'll be right back.
Because this is not choice. You get both of these. So you get a Better Homes and Gardens Christmas edition from December of 1968. Check out that beaded ornament right there on the front. And then you get a 1970s issue of the Saturday Evening Post with the Norman Rockwell cover, winter 1973. So you've got some great vintage decor if you want to put these into vignette, or I'm not always a huge fan about cutting things up, but there's some great full page ads in here. My favorite is this little Wagon Buyer's Digest of Better Ideas for $69. You can see it's a separate booklet that comes out, and who remembers the Woody? Well, the Woody would have been more like the 60s. This was, like, I think early 60s. This was like getting right into this up to 1970. Look at how weird the front end of that Woody wagon is. I picture the Woody with, the Norman Rockwell type pictures, like going to the beach, with the surfboards on top. That looks like an alien has taken over the front end of the car. But I remember those vans. Oh, look at the camper. We've got definitely an era there. But it does have Christmas ads in here for Christmas cooking. You've got, what is this, like a little elf. Wait a minute. There we go. Got a weird little elf creature. And yeah, somebody asked me if they could have all of the dolls. I can work with you on that. Great. Because we're in the 60s, you get color ads, lots of food ads, because we are talking about Better Homes and Gardens. Check out the colorful display for, let's see, that's celebrating Christmas in Mexico. Looks like we've got an international edition. Swedish tree they were even doing, I don't know, those like weird Santa gnomes. They were even doing them in 68. Portugal, Czechoslovakia, and the Baltic states, they had to share a page. So you got some great Better Homes and Gardens. And then in addition, along with the Better Homes and Gardens, you also get the Saturday Evening Post, and you get some Norman Rockwell art in the back of this one. Just flip through it really quickly. Holiday ads. Great spread on, the good old days when cameras were $24.95 and had the little pop out flash. Saturday Evening Post or Norman Rockwell art throughout the whole thing. So 60s and 70s, 2 magazines. Not sure if Scott's back from his thermostat, but I did not see any bids come in on these. So I will go ahead and pass and pass it back to Scott to offer his next item.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So up. We have a tobacco theme here tonight. I wish you could smell this.
Oh, I bet. Oh, it's got the pipes in it too. Yeah, I bet that's some great smells like coming out of that.
A 1940s, 50s era tobacco humidor. We've got 4 pipes. They are used, and he did chew them up, I can tell you that. This is $23. Is that what I'm starting at? My goodness. Okay, well, that's where I'm starting, $23.
The pipes are worth that.
Yeah, they are worth that. The pipes are $10 a piece. $23. All right, well, I said it. Pipes and the tobacco humidor. Well, let's look at it. First of all, we'll open. Well, I guess I'll turn it around and let you see the front of it. There's the top of it with nobody's name on it. There's the inside, and typically you have a porcelain top, and we do here. And the inside is wooden lined. Everybody knows, so the tobacco can be kept down inside of there. But I'm losing my pipes. Okay, sorry. This one probably had a sticker on the felt underneath. There's the old green felt on the bottom. Look how old that green felt is. So 1930s, 40s era. This needs to be cleaned a little bit, but it is wooden and it's in excellent condition. There are 4 pipes to go with it. And I just do want you to know that if you look at the ends of it, you see the end of that one? That's been chewed up. I mean, that boss had that thing hanging in his mouth for a long time. Anyway, so that one, but they're there. Just to show you the pipes very quickly, if I'm able
Dr. Digger Steve's got you up to 50.
to do that. Here's, and if you have any specific questions, I'll try to answer them. I know the pipes are usually marked. Sometimes it's hard to see. A lot of times they're embossed in the wood, but these smell so good. There are 2 pipes. I'm going to stop fiddling with this. And then on this side, we have 2 more pipes. Very traditional one there. These are probably of the period. And then this one has been chewed on as well. That's sort of a tortoise shell looking plastic on that end. And then there's the bowl of the pipe. Anyway, nice pipes and a nice humidor. Are there any questions, Patrick?
Nope. Just a nice little bidding frenzy going in between back in the day finds and Kentucky Digger Steve.
Okay, well, we'll count this humidor down, which is a tabletop one and very 1930s, 40s era. We'll count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I'm relaxing, sitting all the way back in my armchair here in the living room of the bungalow tonight because I can't broadcast from the dining room table because it is covered in EAPG, as you all know.
All right. Stop went in, and I show Kentucky Digger Steve at $50.
Okay, now we can see. Can I see you now, Steve? I can see you now. Who knows why? I didn't touch anything, but I can see you now. So odd. Kentucky Steve. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. And have you seen the doilies on the table? I hope you got a chance. I hope that you guys got a chance to see. I'm loving enjoying the doilies that you gifted me, and I thank you so much for that. It was a nice gift. Thank you.
All right. My next one is a mixed lot. It's a full bag of, we go from the sin of smoking to the sin of alcohol. What I've got, it's a $5 start. All you crafters out there who've got ideas for decoupaging picture frames and scrapbooking and all of the ENA files that are out there, what you've got is an entire set. I would say there's literally a couple hundred of them in here.
Oh my.
Of wine labels. Most of them are from around the turn of the century, but late 90s, early 2000s. So you've got Tyee Wine Cellars 1999. Some of them, like that one, is just a paper one, so you would use your own adhesive. Some of them actually are labels on adhesive labels on the little backer. So this is Mum QV Napa. Can't see it quickly a year on that one. This one is 1998. There is some great artwork on some of these. So I'm just going to scan through these really, really close, really quick. There will be duplicates in here, so just be aware. But I mean, just check out, look at some of the art. Clos Pegas, Homage 1994. Hunt, simple ones. Got a great, what is that, a pheasant. There's Fortino. I just, again, that's just like random ones that I pulled out of here. There's all kinds of colors, images. Got a bourbon label in there for you. Buchanan Cellars, Flora. If you're a creative mind, got hot air balloon. You've got all kinds of Chateau, another like art, kind of an arty one, Buttonwood, Pease Porter. I actually haven't paid that much attention where these all are. I think they were mostly West and Pacific Northwest, but I wouldn't swear to that. I just got them as a whole stack of new old stock. So I was selling them in smaller sets for $5 pop and did okay with them. I just have so many of them. I just want to get rid of them. So if you are able to pick them up here, hopefully you'll have a nice big stack of them. Hey, resell them yourself if you want, or hopefully you'll be able to find a use for all of these. So I did see somebody come in. Karen was bidding on that. So I'm going to go ahead and count it down really quick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, another pretty one, 2, 1, and stop. Yeah, it looks like some people are trying to fix their weird YouTube names that are popping up.
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
No, it'll reset itself at some point.
It's done it on other channels. It'll who knows?
Yeah, something just weird is happening. All right. And so Karen Williams, thank you so much. You get them for $5.
Oh, heavenly days, McGee. Okay, it is 9 o'clock or 5 of 9. I'm going to take 1 minute and do some shameless self-promoting, and I'll allow Patrick to do
Please do.
the same thing. I just released 2 videos before I went live. So if you are staying up all night, you can't fall asleep, you want to be bored, turn on one of my videos. Yeah.
That's not a very good commercial.
I know. Well, I'm self-deprecating. I have 2 30-minute videos I just put up back to back. One is the shopping. Yeah. The second one is on the front porch. I got the same clothes on because it all happened today. So you'll be able to watch those 2 videos. Remember, it's part 1 and part 2. I did my little Halloween montage that I put out every year. It's a rerun. I put that out yesterday. I will have a drop sale this week. I don't know what day yet, so stay tuned to the OCS. There will be a drop sale. It'll drop somewhere, probably on Wednesday or Thursday. Friday night, Halloween. Join the gang at 8 o'clock for a spooky Halloween live sale. And unfortunately, I will not be able to be here, but there's some strange noises in the attic, and I've got a feeling that the old crone or maybe the old curmudgeon will be broadcasting from the attic. I'm going to be at a Halloween party, but somebody will be broadcasting. That's my selfless promotion of my channel. Patrick, I'm going to let you promote yourself as soon as we put the camera back on you.
Fair enough.
In the meantime, if you're also looking for something fun to watch, we all love, I shouldn't say we all, but a lot of us love the murder Agatha Christie Poirot series and the Miss Marple series, which is on PBS. Go back and find the David Suchet. It's called The Halloween Party, and it is wonderful. You'll find it. I'm laughing because, Patrick, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm trying to organize these labels fell out of the bag, so I'm trying to put them all back. Sorry, I should have muted myself.
All right. It's not. It's like, whoo! It sounds like you're eating crackers. I think it's
no, nothing that exciting.
Look, Agatha Christie, The Halloween Party. Anyway, I'm selling this book. It's the dust jacket it's got stains all over. Look, it even looks like it's got old blood stain. Now, I didn't do that. This is. No, seriously. Look, something spilled on it. I don't know. Maybe, so anyway, here it is. It's a good read. It is different from the film. So, but anyway, if you get a chance to watch The Halloween Party.
What's the start?
Well, I haven't told you yet.
Okay.
But it does start at $12. So I know you all want to know. What's the publisher and when was it printed? Oh, I'm going to tell you. This is just the book club edition, printed in America, so no big deal, I guess. There's that page. Halloween Party by Agatha Christie, Dodd, Mead and Company of New York, and here's the copyright date. Copyright, Agatha Christie Limited, 1969. All rights reserved. That's it. Printed in the United States of America. So that's what you get right there. There's only one copyright date on it, 1969, and you can see it. I hope you can see it. 1969, Agatha Christie Limited. So you do get a dust jacket, which has its condition problems. I found this at a flea market. I paid, I think, $5 for it, and I read it, and then I've been using it as just a Halloween decoration. Well, I don't know. Let's pass it on to somebody else to get a kick out of it. But it's so you can. The pages are clean. It doesn't smell. There's just that funny whatever got spilled on it. I don't know from since 1969. Any questions about that? We have the high bid right now at 16, and we will count the Agatha Christie Halloween Party down. Snip, snap, dragon. Snip, snap, dragon. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. On the Halloween Party. Read the book and watch the Poirot series. They're both fantastic, and they really get you in a 1930s Halloween mood. So says I. Okay, there's the stop, and it looks like Cara Mall.
Cara Ramal?
Oh, it's Cara Remmel. Remmel. I know
Cara
you.
Ramal.
Yeah, let me get it down. This is so hard because the names are all goofy. That was at $16.
Yes.
I think it's Cara. I think I know you, Cara. I don't know, everybody. It's the names are, I can't tell you. Glenn, I don't know. You're not blocked. You're not, nobody has done anything fishy. It's just something's going on. Anyway, let me get Cara's Remal. Remel. Yeah, Glenn, I don't know. It's not anything that Patrick and I are doing, that's for sure.
No. Remal, not EL. FYI.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right. Since you did a Halloween decoration, I will go ahead and do this one. I joked about this on my preview. This is a $5 start. It is, I'm going to assume, an old candy tin, cookies tin, but I can't decide if this is a Halloween tin or if this is a Christmas tin, because I would say that's a snow-covered field, you know, a little mountain snow in the background, and we've got a church steeple in the right in front and center. So, you know, I'm thinking this is Christmas. But if you just look at this, those trees are looking kind of spooky, and it's kind of like the foresty. It looks barren. You know, so it could just be, you know, we're on the moors and, you know, whatever. So, you know, I'd say I agree. I think with Virginia, I think the trees look kind of spooky. So I think it'd be great for Christmas because it does have the church on there. But I think this is something that could stay out all season long because you could put it out for Halloween and, you know, have some fun. The tin itself, it's not marked, so I don't know what it would have sold. Most likely it either had a label, assuming it was selling candy maybe at the time, or it may have just been sold as its own decorative tin. You know, we were talking about the way the humidors were made. You can see the seam on this one. It's rolled here, which just gives it a little bit extra strength so that when you put the lid on it, it doesn't collapse. I actually worked for an HVAC manufacturer, and we had a whole process and you'd be able to make metal stronger by doing ribs like this. So you can see it has a very nice seal to it. The bottom, it's still in solid condition, not rusted through. There's no holes, no separation. Oh, could be Christmas fruitcake. Because the church is what makes me think it's Christmas. And I bought it thinking it was Christmas. But then the more I looked at it, it kind of freaked me out. I was thinking it was Halloween. So the inside, you got a little oxidation going on the inside, but I could totally see this, yes, as a fruitcake tin. As of right now, you know, be given its age, I think you've got decorative. You could definitely wrap somebody's gift in it. I'm not sure you'd want to put another fruitcake in there. I did see and I would say, Dennis, I would guess 60s. Yes, maybe 70s. I remember growing up with the horrors of this type of artwork as a child. So, you know, 60s into 70s, I would say is a good guess. But representing, you know, that's a much older, you know, it's representing an older village. So I think I did see somebody bid on it. So I'll go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Wuthering Heights. That's why I thought of the Moors, but I couldn't think of the book. Wuthering Heights Christmas. Perfect.
Wuthering Heights, yeah. Let me see. Oh, I've got to put the stop in, don't I? Okay, there we go. You did count it down. I see that. And I
think there was just the one bid.
Yeah, it's in. Okay, very good.
Deborah Short. I apologize, Deborah. I don't recognize your name. So if you just make sure you send me an email with your information, I will. It's very lightweight. I will be able to get this out to you. It shouldn't cost much to ship.
Patrick, before you toss it back to me, have you got some self-promotion you'd like to do?
I'm hoping to put some more stuff onto my video on my channel. Right now, it's been very dormant, so I've been very bad about that. But I will promote one other item. I am involved, so as people who do know my channel, I do community theater. And in the Halloween spirit, if you are interested in old radio shows, I am part of the Riverside Township Radio Players. I'll put the name in the chat and send it once we go back to you. But if you go to their YouTube channel, you will actually see every October. They've been in existence since 1999. All of their recordings are up, is recorded as video. Every October they do a Halloween, and this last one was just last Friday. We did a recording of the Sealed Book, and we also did the Haunted House edition of Life of Riley. I played the announcer in Life of Riley, and I played the keeper of the book in the Sealed Book. So I'm performing in that one. And if you do like old time radio and you're interested, I've talked about my husband a couple of times. I've shown him like here and there. Last month we did recordings and actually put him on stage for the very first time. He was the announcer in one of the radio shows that they recorded in September. So it's Riverside Township Radio Players. I'll put the full name. You can find their YouTube channel. They have 2 YouTube channels. One was managed by someone who unfortunately passed away, and there was no legacy to pick up that channel. So that's like our PSA for the day. Make sure you're setting up digital heirs, digital people to pass on your digital legacy. So they lost over 200 videos, are just like stuck in YouTube world. So they created a new channel. We created some playlists that are grabbing from that one. So there are 2. One has tons of videos. One only has like a dozen. So it's the smaller channel. If you like old time radio, it's the script, but it's acted. It's performed on stage with actors each playing the parts.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's my little thing.
Okay. Well, I'll check that out myself. I love old time radio.
Excellent.
As if you didn't know.
Exactly. You also like old time radios. Yes.
And that one is an old one, not a. Yeah. I wouldn't have a repro. I've got one of the best.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Old Victorian picture frames. I've had this for so long. It starts at $45. I have so many old family photos, and I knew I would have one to put in this, but I've got limited wall space here, and I just don't have room to display all the old pictures. I really am the depository of family history. It comes to live here. So we're going to pass this frame on. It is made of this is mahogany, and it's mid-Victorian. There's a lot of influences. The Victorian era was an era of revivals. So we don't have just one style here. There's a little bit of East Lake. There's a little bit of Renaissance revival, but it's a mahogany picture frame. There's no glass. You'll have to do that on your own. And it starts at $45. It's not missing anything except the glass, which is not an issue. The picture size is 4 by 5.5. So 4 by 5.5.
Grab a piece of mirror.
About the size of the cabinet cards, not the card de vistas, but the larger ones. The one that's slightly larger. It's about that size. And it's in excellent condition. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, church. That does not mean that this came out of a church, and I don't think that it did come out of a church. It's very small. But a lot of things that you would see that would look like church architecture would also be in Victorian homes of that era. So it is sort of churchy looking. But again, the picture size is only 5.5 by 4. So it's very small.
Gothic revival. Patsy M is asking if it stands.
No.
Okay.
No. So here's the back of it, which is just there's cardboard. That's the old wood. That's the back of it. It's to be hung. Here's where it was hanging. And this is the back of it. This was originally held on there with just some wire brads. I can see where those nails were. And you can just put it back on. You can fashion it back on there any way that you want. So that's what it looks like. Now, nothing is broken. I know my business, and I've been doing this for a long time. And so I've handled this whole thing. And I can promise you that what looks like, oh, something's broken, there's nothing broken. Look at the finish underneath of these. It's the same old patina right here. If this had been broken off, you would not have the same patina here as you do on the rest of it, which comes with age. So nothing was broken.
Now, if it were at the top, it would be considered an open pediment. Is it still a pediment when it comes off the bottom like that?
I don't know, but you're right. It would be an open pediment if it were at the top. Pediment, I think of being at the top, so I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know if it changes names. I never thought about that because there's decorations like that always at the bottom. But
yeah, I couldn't tell you, but I do know this, that nothing is broken off of it.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's exactly the way it should.
As we go up, we can see it really is pretty. So that's it. It's made of mahogany, and it's got chamfered corners here, which is an added touch. And then even when we look at the top, there is nothing missing. I know somebody's going to say, oh, well, there was a cross and something broke off the top. Folks, there's nothing missing from it. There's nothing broken. I've studied this whole way around, and I don't see anything broken or missing. It's just a beautiful, late Victorian frame. So get a piece of glass for it and put your great somebody in it. Now I'm competing underneath of my lampshade fringe. So are there any questions? I'm not looking at the chat.
I don't think any more questions. Jenny's got you at 45 and no advance from that. Oh, Judy just put you up to 46.
It really is a fabulous frame. I'm going to go ahead and let you look at it again before I count it down. It is an absolutely gorgeous late Victorian frame. And I agree, Eastlake, Renaissance Revival, Gothic Revival, it's all there. But this is the kind of stuff that you see on Victorian furniture and Victorian decoration, aesthetic movement, all kinds of revivals in the Victorian era. So there it is. It's beautiful. And if there are no questions, I'll count it down. The high bid right now is 47. Kathleen Taylor. I've got another really nice frame coming up in a minute if you don't like this one. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Sorry, I know it's hard for me to get to hold it so that the whole thing could be seen. But that's it. I'm going to miss this frame.
All right. I refresh really quick.
What?
Yeah, looks like Jenny Mack snuck in and got it right before the stop at 68.
Let me stop playing with it. Jenny Mack got it at 68. Okay.
Yep.
Jenny, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody who placed bids on that. If you like frames, I'll keep trying to find them. 68 Jenny Mack. Thank you, Jenny.
All right. I've got another piece of ephemera because that's what I like to sell. And so what we've got is a Mrs. Cinderella, somewhat of an advertisement book because it is brought to you by General Electric. It is dated 1939. So we got some nice old ephemera. It's a $5 start. So you've got the story of Mrs. Cinderella. Now it's a little bit of a different version. We also have I don't remember there being a nasty elf creature in the original Cinderella. But you've got the booklet, tells the story of, now you've read that story filled with romance and glory of how Cinderella won her handsome prince. So we'll now tell you of their marriage. So this is kind of part 2 of the Cinderella story. So you have some beautiful graphics. It is a complete book. When her back was sore and aching, then she turned to do her baking, for the prince was very fond of pie and cake. But the evil gnomes pursued her in a manner even ruder and ruined everything she tried to make.
I can't stand an evil gnome.
Evil gnomes. We only want the good gnomes. So they tried to wash her dishes. Do we hear something? Maybe General Electric appliances are coming. They made a manner shocking. The washboard tore her stocking. And so she clapped her hands and shouted while the evil gnomes all pouted, and the fairy godmother came again. And she knew GE would not deceive her. So we've got a great promotional piece showing their line. Isn't that cool?
It is.
So you had 1939 appliances.
I love those appliances.
The icebox next they carried from the house and never tarried till they brought in something wonderful to see. It was gleaming white and shining, and the latest in streamlining, a refrigerator fashioned by GE.
That's
So we've got the mixer, we've got the toaster. Oh, check out that coffee pot in the back. Was that like a double percolator?
Yeah.
I don't know what the double bubble version of that is.
Yeah.
What's that one in the front? That's not a crock pot, is it? I don't know what that longer one in the front is, but you see
it's a roaster. Yeah, it's a big roaster.
She replaced all of her, got all new cabinets. She is set for life. Did she get the ringer washer? She did.
I love that.
So in the laundry, they proceeded to do the thing she needed. GE washer first they must install. And then the ironing machine. So in Little Shop of Horrors, when she sings about her ironing machine, she was not singing about an iron. She was singing about that.
Yeah.
She's an ironing machine. Okay, what's that?
Yeah.
Water heater. They installed to make life sweeter. They installed a water heater. And then you've got the vacuum cleaner, GE. This is just chock full of GE advertising and some great illustrations of life in 1939. Oh, there you go. There's Scott's radio. Not his radio, but
yes.
And the green lamp. You got to have the green. So throughout the dingy fixtures. And look at the green serving pieces. The dining room table has green, maybe green uranium glass plates. All right, that's what we got. I think I saw a couple of bids come in, so I'm going to go ahead and count this baby down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Mm-hmm.
The General Electric.
Before I put the stop in, I just want, well, it's okay now. Never mind. We're fine. Okay, so here we go.
Okay. Mrs. Cinderella.
There you are.
All right. And I see Jenny Mack at 31. Thank you much.
Thank you, Jenny. I've got another picture frame. I think this is the only other picture frame I have for you tonight. And another one from the late Victorian era. This one much more common. This one, although it's all but lovely. This one is $25 and it will take an 8x10. So a standard 8x10. And I'll hold it way back here, and then this one does have its glass, and I'll ship it with its glass. So I guess it's not totally unbreakable. The frame starts at $25 and it will take an 8x10. And we all think of the Black Forest in Germany and cuckoo clocks and all of that thing. But these were so popular in the US. And there's nothing missing on it. There's nothing broken on it. So we'll zoom in now and let you see the beautiful carved leaves. Notice the old gold paint here. This is all original around the inside. We'll go down here to the bottom. Again, we've got the applied leaves and they are not broken. Nice old gold paint. This corner, you can see the detail on the sides. All the old dirt on the top. I love that. That's an old one. That's an antique. We're back in the probably 90s, right around the turn of the century. Look how pretty that is. And we'll turn it around to the back. There's the nice old piece of wood. Please get rid of this piece of string, okay? That might hold for another couple of days, but that string is going to dry rot. We've got eye hooks there. Get picture frame wire and get rid of that string. I have had pictures. How many, are you like me? When do pictures fall off the wall? They don't fall off, lunchtime. They fall off at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're certain you're going to be murdered, so that's when it happens. I can't tell you how many times, you jump out of bed and a picture has fallen off the wall. It's usually because I don't pay any attention to. Anyway, so fix that, okay? There it is. The high bid right now is, I don't know, 31. I think it's Jenny. No, there are no bids.
No, actually, unfortunately, it doesn't look like anyone has bid yet.
Okay. $25 is the opening bid on this late Victorian picture frame measuring 8 by 10 with its glass. And it looks like an old piece of glass. I see a little bit of speckly things in it like we're supposed to see. And if there are no bids, we're going to, in a second, put the hard stop in there and we will bring this back. Jenny Mack.
Jenny just put you in at 25.
So since there is a bid of 25, I'll count this down. If there are no questions on it, we'll count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on this antique picture frame. 8 by 10. Okay.
All right. Got the stop ins. That went to Jenny Mack for 25.
Okay, Jenny, you're going to get 2 really nice frames tonight. Jenny, thank you so much. Patrick, it's back to you.
All right. Everyone's going to relive their childhood or somebody's childhood. And we're got a $5 start.
Okay.
For Droopy and the California Raisins. All right. So Droopy is much older than this piece allows. He is a Droopy bobblehead with his catchphrase, "I'm so happy." Now, this is from 2007. This is I think it was Funko. The early days of Funko that recreated, licensed the original comic strips. So you've got Droopy as a bobblehead, and this is from my personal collection. So you're getting him. When I took down my man cave, some of these things are getting retired. And I loved the California Raisins when I was would have been probably high schoolish age, because that would have been the 80s. And this one, I did find a date on this one, 1987. So this is California Raisins wind-up toys. I would not have been able to tell you the company that issued these. My life depended on it, NASTA. But the California Raisins, for those who are unfamiliar, were actually a marketing campaign for actual California raisins. So you should eat raisins that were grown in California with California grapes. But they became cartoon characters, and they were live action anthropomorphic raisins that sang and danced in all of their commercials. And this is a wind-up toy, still in its blister pack. So you've got the little turning thing. I don't know if I'm assuming his hands must go up and down as he walks. It came from Zayre. Now, I talked to my husband grew up on the East Coast, and he was not familiar with Zayre. So I don't know if that was a Midwest thing, but it was kind of like, we also had Venture, which were similar to Targets. kind of a Target, Kmart. Yeah, I'd probably pay more equivalent to Kmart. I think it was lower end. But back in the 80s, it was $2.49. So you get both. You get the California raisin. I don't know if they had names, but you get the one with the orange sunglasses. And you get Droopy. I'm covering up his name. You get Droopy. I'm so happy. And you get both of them. I think I saw some bids come in, so I will go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Oh, they had Zare in Maine. Okay, so it did make it outside the Midwest. Wait, California Craisins had a Christmas movie? I don't think I ever saw that.
Yeah, they were. I was a little bit beyond that, so they're not quite. I remember them, but I was well into. I was in college when they were doing their thing.
All right, wait for the stop to go in.
I think so, anyway.
So it looks like Jenny Mack also wants to relive her childhood, and she gets them for $20. Thanks, Jenny.
I've got another tobacco humidor. It seems like a theme. I didn't really plan it that way. This is really pretty, and this one is in brass. And it has a wonderful old patina on it. This one starts at $20.
That's beautiful.
A $20 brass tobacco humidor. Or copper? Copper. What did I say? Did I say brass? Or copper? It's very copper looking on the bottom. So, and of course, this will come apart in two places. So we'll pull it off here so that the tobacco can be placed inside of it. And then this has the added feature of allowing us to regulate humidity by putting a piece of cotton or a small piece of cloth that's been dampened that can be placed in there. Also apple slices. What else would men? I know that they would, men would cut up apple slices and put it in their tobacco pouch or in their humidors, which would often help to flavor the tobacco. Do you remember your grandfather or great-grandfather spicing up their tobacco with things? So that those could be placed there. You can see the holes, so that would allow the air to move through and flavor the tobacco. And then we'll
Kentucky Digger Steve has you at 20.
Put the lid back. This is unmarked. And I love the dent. I just love the hit. This thing just tells a story. I mean, this, you don't have to do a thing to it, but who owned it? What was the conversation? What were the conversations? Oh my goodness, that awful Woodrow Wilson. I'll tell you what, it's like, when you're holding things like this in your hand, okay, whatever. But it was there, this was somewhere when something wonderful happened. And who knows? I would say that this probably dates to maybe the turn of the century, probably 1900 to 1930. Sometimes it's difficult to tell.
I would agree with that.
Pardon?
I would agree with that. Closer to the turn of the century.
Yeah, it's hard, but not decorative at all. But boy, it does the trick. So we'll count this down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on this particular tobacco humidor. That's really is going to be my last tobacco item tonight, I think. Okay, so the bids are in, and we're going to wait for the stop on that one and that particular one.
Oops, my stop didn't go in. There it goes. Looks like Kentucky Digger Steve picked it up for 35.
Thank you, Steve. I can see you now. I don't know what was going on earlier. Oh, well. Okay. Thank you, Steve, and everyone else who placed bids on that. Let's take it back to Patrick.
All right. So I'm pulling out my metalwork piece. So this is again for my personal collection. I used to have a collection of tea canisters on my counter. This I am starting at $10. It is a Tetley tea bag tin. So you've got the elephant on the top carrying the Tetley box of tea in his trunk, and it is a hinged box. So it is actually still hinged, and it has the mirror finish on the inside, still in pretty good condition, and then the graphics on all four sides, still in really good condition. What I find interesting is that the back panel appears to be the one that's faded the most. Like maybe it was on a countertop or something, or a windowsill, and that this was facing the sun, because that seems duller even than the top, but definitely duller than the blue on the sides. But you get the elephant on all four sides, 25 individual service tea bags, orange Pico and Pico tea bags, 25 bags, net weight 85 grams. Nothing on the bottom, but a nice gold finish on the bottom. Cool little piece. I loved it. I stacked a couple other things on top of it. I actually kept one of my, there he is, one of my tins I kept. This is the only tea tin that I kept from my collection, because this one I picked up with my daughter in Austria, in Vienna. We went to a little vintage store that I hope to go back to when I go with Raj this year. But I really liked this German tea tin. So kept him, but got rid of the rest of them, including this one. I think I saw somebody bidding on it, so I'll go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right, watching for the stop to come through. All right, can you confirm?
I'm going to hit refresh on it to
Thank you. Yeah, I saw a bunch coming at the very last minute.
I do see Sylvia Lee's $14 bid just before the stop.
I do as well. And I apologize, Sylvia Lee. I don't remember if I know your name or if you have a different name, because I know some people's names are showing up differently. Just make sure you send me an email to my email address so I know who you are, and make sure I can get you the invoice to you. So congratulations.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. All right, starting at $15. Starting at $15. Who didn't have that in the 1950s?
Awesome.
Everybody had that in the 1950s. There it is. Ready to go. Hard plastic. You already know what this is. Look at that wonderful 1950s cord. And now, these aren't the ones that play any music. If you want it to blink, you need to put the blinky light bulbs in it. The light bulbs that are in it now are non-blinkers. I always remember these things always blinking. I'm not a big fan of blinking Christmas things, but these have clear light bulbs in it. Everybody knows how to replace Christmas light bulbs. So here are the 3 bells in those hard 1950s plastic. And you can have it if you want it, but if you're going to throw it away, I'm not going to let you have it. So whoever wins, you have to say, yes, please include the tacky, I love it. That's an old original one, and that's what was all wrapped around it, just like that. Now, I took that off because, I know you vintage lovers are going to save that. It's going to need to be ironed, flattened out, but that's the real thing. Look at the old cloth-covered wire, the way they used to make them. You know what I'm talking about, Patrick.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's the old one. And rather than being strung out like that, sometimes they would just be clustered together as 3, and then that wrapped around the top and then plugged in. Christmas memories from the 50s and 60s. You know that this is going to bring back memories at your house when you get it. So whoever the winner is, once I tell you that you've won, please say yes ribbon or no ribbon. If you don't want that, I will recycle it and do something else with it. But if you want it, it definitely is going to go with those bells. So we do have a bid. I think the high bid right now is $17, and we will count them down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. There's just something about an iconic piece of Christmas decoration like that that so many of us remember. And it's that hard plastic. All right, whoever the winner is, once I tell you, you tell me yes ribbon or no ribbon. It won't bother me one way either way.
All right, it looks like
Don't want that ribbon thrown out.
Jenny Mac got it at 30.
Jenny, you want that ribbon? I'll wait and look for that. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, everyone who placed bids on the wonderful Christmas bells in plastic. They're going to look, what does YNO stand for? Yes, no. That's going to look great with the Santa. You got the big plastic Santa from me, I think. We'll take it back to Patrick, and if I can hit the right thing here, and I'll still look for Jenny to tell me if she wants that ribbon or not. Because I don't know what YNO. I think it's a typo.
She wants yes and no. She wants both the ribbon, yes and no. Half the ribbon. No on the ribbon.
Oh, Jenny, no ribbon. Okay, great. No worries, Jenny. I will preserve that ribbon and do something else with it. Thank you for letting me know, darling. I appreciate it.
All right. So he had Christmas bells. I've got my last piece of Christmas item for the evening. Is another piece of ephemera, Christmas ephemera, and is a $5 start.
Okay.
It is, as it says right on the top, a holiday greeting by Western Union. Now, what I find interesting, because I am not particularly privy to how telegrams were sent, maybe Scott has some more insight into it, but the telegram came on his little teletype machine, and it was sent from Peekskill, New York, or to Peekskill, New York, from Comstock, Maryland, or the other way around. General delivery, West Palm Beach, Florida. We've got all kinds of cities in here. Wishing you the utmost in health, happiness, and prosperity during the Yuletide season. May all the days throughout the coming year bring you full joy and happiness. And if you look really carefully, you can see those were printed on the little ticker type, and then they glued it onto this letter. So you have a very cool holiday greeting by Western Union, which was then mailed. So this has a 2-cent stamp and is postmarked for 1939 in West Palm Beach, Florida. So they sent the telegram, I guess, from Comstock, Maryland to West Palm Beach, Florida. But since the person wasn't in the telegram office, they then Western Union still had to mail it to the recipient. So you've got the 1939 postage stamp on there. On the back, you have another postmark for West Palm Beach in 1939, December 26th. So they sent this a day after Christmas. What shall I give? What shall I say? Solve these perplexing questions. Western Union gift orders. Ask for booklets. You got a little advertising going on, with the Western Union advertising. But to me, unless you collect Western Union, which some people might, I think this is a cool 1939 Christmas piece of ephemera. You could frame that. You could, again, just kind of set this on your hall table and make it look like you received a Western Union telegram. People don't look at it too quickly. It's just kind of a cool little piece. And I'm struggling with selling ephemera in my booth because people take it out of the folders and then leave it laying on the table. It's really annoying. Mm-hmm. So I like selling ephemera here. So if I see somebody bid on it, and I will go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
I'm going to wait for his, I should have bought that from you, Patrick, and then I would have actually gone out to a crowded restaurant or something and paid somebody $5 to come in and deliver me a holiday
Western Union.
And everyone would look and wonder, who is this man? How does he get telegrams from 1939?
Time traveler.
That would be so much fun. Oh, I didn't put the stop. Sorry, I'm sitting here running my lips and I didn't put the stop in. I just did. So it's in there now. It's probably Sylvia Lee at 10.
That's what I see.
Sylvia Lee at 10. Okay. I absolutely love these. And they're so mid-century. I've got 2 of them. They are lyres, musical lyres. And they're brass. They start at $23. Wow. For the pair.
For the pair?
Yeah.
Wow.
So mid-century, it's just wonderful. So 50s and 60s. Made in Japan after the war. I have not polished these. They stand 11 inches tall. Oh my goodness, what can you say? They're candle holders, obviously. Made of brass. They have some wonderful old felt on the bottom. I think this one has a Japan. This one has a typical sort of 50s, 60s after the war Japan label on it. That one does. And they're just wonderful. Look at the patina on them. Again, I've not cleaned these. I'm going to let you decide what you want to do with it. Really absolutely lovely for any time of year. But there's just so much to celebrate around the holiday season with music. And boy, you could certainly doctor these up with some little Christmas ribbon. And all you decorators know exactly what. I just love the proportion. I love the design. They're simple, but elegant. And I can't say, as soon as I saw them, and they're like from the 60s, not my era, but aren't they great as decorative items? What do you think?
They're beautiful.
I love them. And of course, I love the music lyre, being a music person.
And they're not bent. I mean, they're just in great condition. They look really sharp. And put a big red bow on them for Christmas. They look fantastic.
Yeah, little wreaths around here and around the bottom. I do that with my Christmas candles. I doctor them up that way. So trying to get you to see the whole thing there. If there are no questions about them, 11 inches tall in brass, I'll count them down. I guess that's not a bid. 30, he might.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's responding to.
Okay, it's just probably people talking. It's good. We'll give it a second and then we'll count them down just to make sure. So we'll count them down. 10, 9. I think the high bid right now is somewhere in the 30s. 10, 9.
Currently at 35.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And I think these would even look nice in a very clean sort of modern decor, modern.
Absolutely.
60s, even a 60s and 70s decor, 50s and 60s decor. I think they would look great. So the lyre candlesticks.
A lot of pricing coming right at the end. I need to refresh because I see 2 different results. All right. It looks like Darlene Garrett got it for $60.
Darlene, I thank you so much. I don't know if I know you. I want to say I do. If I don't know you and you don't know what information to send, I thank you, Karen. I know Karen is here, and I think Jeffrey was here a minute ago. We can throw the information in there. So Karen Garrett, where is it? Garrett. Okay. Seems to me I remember that I've heard of you. And I apologize again. Please don't anybody take it personally. It's very difficult after all these years and with all the customers to remember all of the names. But your call is important to us. You know.
And yes, Darlene, those will look great on your piano. Those would be
Oh,
fantastic.
that's wonderful. You're going to be on your piano? Oh, Darlene, that's wonderful. Okay, let me take it back to Patrick.
All right. My next item is back to some ephemera. I've got puppy postcards, and they're all from around 1910. So you get all 5 of them, and the start is $10 because these are some really, really nice ones. So we're going to start with, Isn't Love a Grand Old Thing? And you've got a very tiny tear down here on the bottom. So disclosing that. Now this one has not been used, but it looks like with the same era as some of the other ones. So that one just happens to be on top. Next one, Got a Bone to Pick with You. And you've got copyright right on there by F.A. Moss, Denver, Colorado, 1909. Now, there's this logo appears on several of them, and I'm not 100% sure what that logo is for because it doesn't seem to match the manufacturer, which is named on a couple of them. So if you know that logo, the art, I'm assuming F.A. Moss, maybe that's the artist's logo. So I didn't recognize that one, but you got a great, and then this one is a used postcard. And you can see it is postmarked 1909 from Lawrence, Kansas. And this one, I thought the story was kind of funny. It was sent to Mr. Leslie Mater, because Leslie can be a male's name. But what it says is, Leslie, I should like to have a letter from you. Write me a letter and tell me all of your experiences, and I will let you read my diary when I get back home. Now, I cannot tell who signed that. Kind of looks like Joe, but I have a feeling it's not Joe. But I can fantasize that it's Joe because I can't read what that name is. That's kind of running off the bottom.
Yeah, it's hard to
but
see.
It is definitely sent to, even though it says Leslie, it took me a minute to realize it's Mr. Leslie. So we've got a gentleman there. This one was sent to Miss Mabel Herring.
Oh my gosh.
Bulldog. Are my looks against me?
Mabel Herring.
So this one was sent to Miss Mabel Herring. Nice long letter, also postmarked. This one I think was 1914, if I remember right. Yeah, 1914, also in Kansas. Was sent to Stanford, Kansas. Next morning, I don't remember. There's a signature on this one. So nice long postcard on that one. And then we've got another one postmarked 1910. All the world loves a lover. And so you've got the copyright on that one with the artist's name. And this was also sent to Mr. Leslie Mater. Joe, you know you ought to be down here or having the time of our lives. JT.
Well, if Mabel Herring is there, who can help but have the time of your life?
There you go. So we got that one. There's copyright at the side of that one. And then the last one is Dog in Jail. All I did was growl a little. Copyright 1909. So you got all these black and white illustrations. This one is also, this was postmarked, but you notice there's no message. And there's not much of a name on there. So I'm not exactly sure who this was sent to or how this got postmarked. But it is postmarked 1910, Stanford, Kansas. And still got Mabel Herring. So maybe Mabel was infamous and they just knew who she was. But you got another puppy one. So there are five postcards. Growl a little. Lover. My looks. bone to pick, and isn't love a grand old thing? Puppy love. All right. I will go ahead and count it down. I got to see some bids going in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Look at the face.
There you are.
All right, so I've got.
I think
You
it's
see Jenny first or Glenn first? I see both of them at $10.
Jenny.
I see Jenny first. Is that who you see?
I don't even know who Glenn is. I see
The Ox 66.95.
Oh, I see Jenny before Ox.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, that's right. The Ox is Glenn. Glenn,
Yes.
I don't know why I did that to your name, but Jenny had the $10 bid just before yours. So
And thanks, Karen. She confirmed as well. So thank you.
yeah.
And thanks, Jenny. I'll add that to your box.
All right. Starting at $20, rumor has it this was originally owned by Mabel Herring.
Yeah.
Now, I can't substantiate that, but you're on your own. I love this pot, and there is something special about it, I think, and I've never tried it. It starts at $20. What are you noticing? Well, it's green enamel. Okay, this is metal with enamel, what enamelware, you know what I'm talking about. But look, we have a percolator top. So technically that's breakable. Where's the spot for the electric cord? I thought percolators were either stovetop or they ran off of electric. Well, we don't see any electric cord here. We've got some weird 1930s combination. I absolutely love it. Let's open the percolator. There's the basket, just as it should be. Yeah. We look inside. Okay. Oh, what are we noticing? How about that? Now, this can percolate 8 cups. Notice how it sits on this wonderful metal that's connected to it. This can sit right on a stove. And this would heat up. Now, it's possible that there was also a small heating element for the breakfast table because this is so decorative. I have seen pots that have their own little tiny burner, a little electric burner, yeah, that this could have sat on rather than an open stove burner. And that probably was something like that. The little burner is long gone that this would sit on. But you'd put the water inside, this part would heat up. This would heat, and it's metal. And see, it's connected. And inside, it's going to cause the metal piece that goes through the bottom to heat up and percolate your coffee. So
you said this is only a $20 start?
Yeah, but
okay.
I mean, I don't think anybody's even going to. I freak over things from the 20s, but I'm probably almost the only in 30s, but it's only a $20 start. This is enamel in great shape. There's some embossed work on the metal around the top. It is a percolator, and I just love how decorative it is. This can be used whether you want to percolate in it or not. What else can be said?
That's an amazing piece. I'm actually surprised that nobody's going after that.
Well, it's people who are not.
Well, I wouldn't make coffee out of it. I just think it's a cool looking piece.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. So the question is being asked, could it go on a gas stove top? I don't know, and so I'm not going to give you an answer. Obviously, there's no instructions with it, and I couldn't find anything about it on the internet. I personally probably would not put it on on a flame. I wouldn't mind putting it on a regular burner because that's how this worked. This did heat. This would get really hot. And again, I wish I could show you. Remember that in the 30s, it was popular for people who did not have a domestic. And even if you did have a domestic, the housewife would often be in charge of making the breakfast at the table. So things were much more decorative. She could make the waffles and everything. There's a whole outfit. Edison put them out, General Electric, everybody. This probably had a little burner that this would sit on that would actually sit on the breakfast table rather than this sitting on a stove top. But obviously, this could sit and heat up. So enough about all that. I would put a vintage floral arrangement in it. You'd put a floral arrangement in it? So we'll count the coffee pot down. I think we have a bid of 31. Kara has the bid of 31. That was a good question you asked about the stove.
Norman's got you up to 33.
I just wouldn't put it personally on a gas stove. I wouldn't want, unless you have a great, anyway, it's up to you. I don't want you to burn your house down. 10. Yeah, but the burner that I have is for something else and it's down in the basement. So the answer is yes. And that goes to another pot, which is down in the basement, a sunbeam pot from the 1930s. And I should have brought that up to kind of show you, but you guys understand. 10, 9, 8, 7. I love this. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Whether you're going to use it for decorative purposes or you're actually going to try to percolate coffee in it, it's fantastic. I've never seen another one. I don't even know if it's American made. It probably is. Okie dokie. I love that thing. Great,
All
man.
right. The stop goes in, and looks like Jeffrey at Old Hadley Vintage picks it up.
Oh, Jeffrey wants it. I didn't think that was your speed, Jeffrey. Well, you do like that color. So that's Jeffrey's. Jeffrey, thank you. And I hope you had a wonderful vacation. I didn't get to catch your show last night. I know you had a sale last night. I'm going to watch some of it on the rerun. Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. Thank you, everyone who placed bids. We've got time. What time?
Right at the top of the hour.
You go ahead, Patrick.
So I got my last item, and then I'll do a quick rehash of one of the items that I think Glenn wanted that came in late.
And the dolls. Somebody wanted the dolls, Patrick.
Yeah, then I'll take care of Heidi offline on that. I don't want to take the time for that one. So this is my last item. This is a $12 start.
Oh,
and this is a perfect example of what happens when you over polish something. So once upon a time, this was a silver plated box. But hopefully you can kind of see here, there's still a little bit of silver down at the very, very edges, but most of it has been polished away. So you have this base metal design, but it is such a cool looking box. I just think the weird patina aspect of this partial silver being on there just adds to the coolness because it is super heavily embossed. It would be, I would still say it's a repoussé. I don't know if Scott would agree with me. It doesn't look like it was hammered, but you can see they took the flat sheet of metal, pressed it into a mold.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have the reverse of the image is on the back, but it's not as detailed. So they did some sort of variation of that, but you can see there's some dimensionality to the back side, but on the front side, look at how deep the design is on this Asian motif box. You've got this great dragon. I did not pull out my translator, my Google Translate to see what the box actually says. I probably should have done that. But on the sides, you've got these cool birds. You've got tigers or a tiger. So you've got the Japanese maple and the bamboo. You've got more birds, and you got 2 tigers. That's the front. They're on these little bun, like kind of little bun feet, little 4 feet. All 4 feet are still there. And the only marking still on it is it says, very top there, it says made in Japan. So silver plated box, made in Japan, Asian motif. I think that's Chinese, not Japanese writing though. I could be wrong, but check out the dragon. Super cool. It is a wood formed box. So you can see the wood on the bottom, but just a trinket box. There's no, mark for possibly for a cigarette box, but there's no mark for humidity or anything. So it's trinket box. It'd be about the size of a cigarette. I would hold a lot though, if that's what it was. And it's not part of any other set that I have. It's just a standalone box. So did I have any bids on that? Because otherwise I did. So Sylvia had his opening bid. So I'll go ahead and count this one down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And then while we're waiting for that to finish up, we're going to bring back the very, very first lot because Glenn tried to grab this after I'd already passed on it. So I think Glenn is still here. Okay.
Wait,
so,
I'm sorry. Am I putting in the stop?
Yeah, you need to put a stop in for that one.
Okay. Let's get that before we do the.
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, you got the stop. Thank you.
Okay. I wasn't sure what you were doing. Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
I try to make up time. Just made everything confusing. All right. So
okay.
The box went to.
There you go. Sylvia
Lee. Right?
Sylvia Lee. I think so. Sylvia Lee.
For $20. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sylvia. I add that to your other items. You add that to your other box. Okay. And so this was a $10 start. You get all of the items in here. So it's a lot of 3 Christmas themed items.
Okay.
First one is a pair. You get the letter to Santa from Santa Claus, Indiana, signed Cheerio, my little friend, from Santa Claus. And that comes in its own vintage envelope, a letter from Santa, personal, was never been used. And this is a Standard Oil dealer advertisement. So it's from Santa Claus, Indiana, by secret agreement with your Standard Oil dealer. So you get the letter and its envelope, and you get a vintage Christmas card, season's greetings. You can see it's got an etching on there. You can see the indentation where the plate was pressed into. And when you open it up, you have a double page insert, which announces it is a 1938 Christmas greeting from the Radio Corporation of America in London. So RCA, but in London. So you get the Christmas card that comes with the Standard Oil advertisement. And then I just threw this in. I believe this would have had a cover that is now missing. So I have the inserts of a Christmas book, but inside the book are some great illustrations. So this ends up falling into a great category of it's already missing part of the book. You can definitely cut this up and make some beautiful framed Christmas prints to decorate or to hand out as great vintage gifts for the Christmas season. So this was a $10 start. I think I saw somebody bidding on that. So I will go ahead and count this one down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right, we're being educated about Japanese dragons having 3 claws. No, this one appears only have 2, which doesn't seem right. So I'm not sure. But it was definitely made in Japan because that's what it's engraved in the bottom.
Don't worry, I'll give Mabel Herring a call and she'll say.
All right, so that goes to Jenny for. Right? Yeah, Jenny. Sorry, Glenn, you came in right after the stop. So the Christmas goes to Jenny for $10. And she said she lives in Indiana. So that'd be perfect to have her Christmas cards from Indiana. Back to you.
It's 10:05, and so I will not sell anything else. Do you?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to take away your last item.
No, not at all. Absolutely not. No, you're perfectly fine. Everyone is in line. Everything is great.
Excellent. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Hopefully you had a good time and found some fun stuff. And evidently the last thing we are learning is that Japanese dragons have 3 claws. So I'm not sure where that, how that what part of history that became established, but that's kind of a fun fact.
That's always good to know. You know, you never know when you're going to need information like that. Seriously though, honestly, that's neat. Thanks for telling us that, whoever that was. That's it. Okay, as I said, I might do invoices tonight. I might do them tomorrow morning, but you should get them before dinner time tomorrow night. Thank you, everybody. I'll have a drop sale sometime this week. Don't forget to join the gang Friday night here on this channel at 8 o'clock for a spooky Halloween sale. And I just put up 2 videos today, so if you can't fall asleep tonight or there's nothing else on television, 2 new videos popped up from me tonight, part 1 and part 2. Okay, so I hope you'll check those out. Thank you. And Patrick, you have yourself a fantastic week. I'm going to be checking in to find out that radio show thing that you did. I'd love to hear that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And appreciate you having me on your channel again. And we shall see what ends up happening on my channel over the next couple of weeks. I'll try and get something out there. So appreciate it. And I'll try to get my invoices out by Wednesday night. So
and stay at Halloween.
Thank you.
Randy,
EAPG extravaganza.
Gotten into my. Oh, that's not until the EAP extravaganza.
Oh, next week.
It's a week from tonight. That's right.
There you go. Only a week away.
I wish you could see my dining room table. Well, you don't need
watch
to see
the videos. I'm sure you'll put promos out for it. Wow.
That's not even. That's not even. Okay, so that's it. I want to thank Jeffrey Reed, who was helping out a little bit tonight. I think you were here. Well, I know you were here, Jeffrey. Thank you for helping. Jeffrey is a moderator, and he has a channel. His channel, as he had a live sale last night. Karen Williams is also helping. She was moderating, and she's been helping me this week, and she's always helpful. And I want to thank her as well. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and we'll see you. Happy Halloween, weenie.
Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye.